Taking along the right travel gear can make our trip so much better. But taking along the wrong travel gear is just lugging around extra weight that you've wasted your money on. So in this video, I'm going to go over my favorite pieces of travel gear, and I'm also going to show you some pieces that I no longer take with me. So stay tuned. So this video is a bit of a this or that video. In other words, there's a lot of stuff here I'm going to show you that I've changed up over the years. But there's also some items here that really just depends on your needs, not my needs, but your needs. Now, everything I'm going to show you, I'm going to put in the links down below so that you have an easy time finding them. Now, I'm going to try to break this down into different categories. And the first category I'm going to be doing is electronics. Now, when you're doing international travel, you need an international plug. And this was my original international plug when I converted over those multi-plug systems where you had a lot of different plugs to it. It's a no-name brand. It was cheap. It did work. It had all these USB-Cs here at the bottom, and it had an extra room for a plug. But it went through fuses. I had to buy extra fuses all the time to use this because something would blow it out. I've never had that problem with my Epica plug. I've used this a lot in Europe, and it's never blown a fuse. So sometimes you do get what you pay for, and I have to tell you, there isn't much of a difference in price between this one and this one. So if you're going to get a good international plug, get a good one, because you don't want to get caught changing out fuses when you don't have the equipment to do so. The next thing I want to talk about are battery banks, and I have 3 to show you. Now, this is the battery bank I use most of the time when I'm out abroad. And the reason I like it is because it just sticks to the back of my phone, and I can hold it easily, and it's comfortable in my hand. Now, it will charge up this phone 1.5 times, which is great. But my husband doesn't travel with a battery bank. He lets me hold it. And so we have this battery bank, which is big. Now, the good thing about this battery bank is it has 2 ports here, and so it can charge 2 phones at once. The other really good thing about this battery bank is that this could charge up a computer because it has 10,000 kilowatt hours or whatever it's called. And so therefore, it can charge up multiple times, phones, this, that. So he likes this one, but it doesn't have any wires. You have to take the wires along with you. But we do tend to take this more often than that other one. Now, when I'm traveling alone, I like this one, which is just sticks into the bottom of my phone like this, and it charges up my phone. The thing about this one is it'll charge up this one phone. That's it. It'll do it once. But I don't need any extra wires. So if I'm comparing these two, this one attaches magnetically, so I don't have to worry about cables. This one I need cables, but has endless power. And this one I don't even need cables. I just slip it on because it has its own cable built in, and I'm done. The other upside to this one is I keep it in my handbag daily. So if I happen to forget to charge my phone, I always have power with me. So I'm not just using it for vacation. I am using it all the time. So there you have it. 3 different choices of battery depending on your needs. It's up to you. Now, also under the topic of electronics, you need these 2 items because they're so minimal and yet so necessary. Now, what this is an extension cord, because sometimes your plug is inconveniently located behind your bed and you have to have it stretched over to where you need it. Now, in this case, this one is, and this is, I believe, a USB-A female to a USB male. So you can plug it into your international plug and have that extra room to stretch it around the bed or across a room. It's really handy to have. And it's small, so I just pack it up into a bag or whatever, which brings me to this. Now, I know you've all seen those very fancy chargers for your Apple products that are, for your Apple Watch and everything else. This particular extension cord, which this is a USB-C, I do believe, which also changes to a USB-A, also has at the other end of the plug 3 more plugs. So you have your choice of Lightning, the current Apple charging, and also this will magnetize to your watch and you will charge your watch. So you don't need to carry around the big thing like this. All you need is this little cable, and it does it all. And I like that because I just put these 2 little cables into a bag and I'm done. That's all I need. So these are definitely what I've minimized myself to, so I have more space for other stuff. Also under the topic of electronics is my luggage scale. Now, I used to think that I never needed one, and then we got caught with heavy luggage on our return trip from Alaska. And then I went out and bought one. And I have been using it. You see it all the time in my videos ever since. And I use it when I go on my trips now all the time, because nothing is worse than getting caught with heavy bags and then finding out that you have to pay a very large fee for those heavy bags. So this is a necessity. The next category is going to be things that I use on the plane. Now I'm going to show you a whole pile of headphones, because over the years I have acquired a whole pile of headphones. And the reason I have so many of these headphones is because I have found that some are good for one thing and some are good for other things, and some are good not at all. I'm going to walk you through each one of these and you can make your own mind up about them. The first one is sound canceling headphones. These are the old type that has the tethering to the plug. I have to tell you two things about these sound canceling headphones. And these worked really well, but they're huge and they take up a lot of real estate in my bag. Now, some of you might feel that that's really important to you, babies crying on the plane and stuff like that. But personally, I really don't think that that's worth the amount of space that these take up. And I have 3 other alternatives here that do a really good job of canceling out the sound. This next pair is made by JVC. And I have to tell you, I love this next pair because they're little and they do cancel out an awful lot of the noise. And they're padded and they're comfortable. They are corded, so you have to plug them in. But I put them on in the plane. It really does drown out about 80% of the noise going on around me. And they fold up so nice and little. So if I'm really concerned about that, if I feel like there's going to be a lot of crying babies, if I'm traveling in economy, I take these. Or I've talked about these in the past, and that's because I really do like them. They serve so many purposes. Now, these are made by a company called Sleep Phones. And the reason they're called Sleep Phones is they even make this for your use at home. Now, this particular pair is tethered. You can have it where it's not tethered. And the reason I like these so much is they do drown out the noise from the airplane. And I can pull this over my eyes. So it's kind of doing dual duty. So this is a great little way of listening to the online entertainment, drowning out the noise, and covering up your eyes. Last but not least, a tetherless way of going. Now, I'm sure you've all seen AirFlies and AirFly equivalents, but I do not use Apple earbuds. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Reason number 1, I don't like the way they feel in my ear. They really bother me. Reason number 2, I have lost them on the plane and then go look for them because they've rolled under someone else's feet and you're like, what are you going to do? Crawl around on the plane? Which leads you to have to buy an auxiliary thing to put onto your earbuds that are magnetic and then plug them into your ears. I don't like that whole procedure. So I have these. And what's unique about these is that they go around my ears and not in my ears, and they don't fall off because they're going around your ears, and they work really well with the AirFly. So if I don't want to be tethered or I don't want to bring around that extra stuff, I can take this, and it's small. It's pretty compact. I find that this goes into my airline comfort bag pretty easily. These do too. I don't have a problem with these. So you have 3 choices here that you can pick from, other than having to take along a huge set of sound canceling headphones. So when I first started doing my channel, I was very much against the phone flap. It's totally flat, but I found to be totally useless because once you put your phone into it, if you hit any turbulence, your phone went flying. I just thought it was stupid. And honestly, I had my phone in a very clever case like this, where I could prop it up like that. And this is my normal case. This is what I use all the time. The only problem is, and I found this after using it year after year, is that I was getting neck strain because if I set it up on my table in front of me like this, I was looking down at it. And I do occasionally use my phone on the plane for entertainment because not all flights have in-flight entertainment. But I did break down and I bought one of these. And I have to say, since I have, I really am very happy that I find this to be much easier to watch something on because your tray table is up and you're just watching it like this and you're at pretty much at eye level, so you're not putting your head down like that. It's bigger than this, obviously. It is taking up real estate in my personal item bag, but for the sake of my neck, I have started to use this. So once again, if you're having to battle economy and you're trying to get comfortable, I have 2 choices here. These are ways to make your legs comfortable in cramped situations. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is this one, and it's from Amazon. It's by Basic Concept, and it's a leg swing. Now, I will tell you, it does work if you are shorter than 5'5", because if you're taller than 5'5" and the person in front of you reclines, then suddenly there's very little leg room for you to put your feet up on. And you have to bend your knees. But also, you kind of get sometimes dirty looks from the person in front of you, at least I have, because you have this put around your tray table and they feel the pressure on the back of their chair. So that's the pros and cons to this one. This is a blow up at leg rest, and I prefer this. I can blow it up, and this I can turn either this way or I can turn it on the side and put it this way if I want to bend my knees a bit more. It only takes about 4 or 5 puffs to blow it up, and it has a quick air release, so it packs down nice and flat. And I happen to keep it folded, but you can keep it rolled up, whichever works for you better in your bag. The only problem with this is you might have to pick it up if you're sitting in the middle or aisle seat and there's a third person in your aisle that wants to get out. That is the only downside to this. Now, if you're asking me personally which one I like this one better personally. The swing does work for people who are shorter or don't care if they get dirty looks from the people in front of them, or maybe that's just my personal experience. So there you have it, 2 choices. And while we're on the topic of being comfortable on the plane, I have to tell you, I don't go anywhere without this. And these are my airline slippers, and they have a rubber bottom. They are comfortable. They come in various sizes. I can take off my shoes, not worry about walking into the bathroom, and I can be comfortable to a long international flight and not have to worry about anything. And it all goes back into this nice little pouch. And I find that I can use these in hotels too. Let's face it, how often are they washing those rugs? So all in all, they serve me on the plane and they serve me in the hotel. So I never forget to take these. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the airlines do not wash out their blankets all the time. They just repackage them into the bags. And I got this from people who are in the know. Now, because I don't like getting sick from a germ-ridden blanket, this always led me to bringing my own blanket in this little carry case. And I have to say, I use this for years. I don't use this anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because the airlines have become so strict that sometimes this counts as a personal item. I know it sounds insane. And so do all those neck rolls and other items that you might dangle off your suitcase. Yeah, they're sometimes counting them as personal items. I don't take any of that anymore. I don't want to run into the risk of having to pay for an extra personal item or try to cram this into something that I might not be able to cram it into. So this is what I've changed over to. Now this is a airline travel scarf. Now my girlfriend hooked me up with it and I fell in love with it. It's made out of 100% organic cotton, so no wool allergies, and I can actually wear it as clothing later. But if I get cold on the plane, I can also just do this. I did buy it in the bag that it comes with, and the company is smart, and they made a way of putting it over your trolley handles. Also has this snap here if you want to attach it to something. But I would not do that. I would just keep it folded up along with this and stick it into my personal item bag. And that's what I like about this, because this takes up a fraction of the room that the blanket does. This fits into my bag so much easier. I can even wear this as part of my outfit onto the plane and just have this folded into my bag. So the next topic is going to be health and beauty. So let's go over a couple of toiletry items that I think that are worth it. The first one is this little folding pill case. Now, the reason I really love this is that I can keep all my both generic drugs and my own medicines in this case, and I'm good to go for an extended period of time. And it folds up nice and easy. And as you can see here, I can even label it. It comes with those labels. Now, I know that for some of you, this might not be big enough, and there are bigger versions of this case, but I do like the fact that I can contain everything all in one spot. So this now has definitely made it into my personal item bag. So this next item you might not have thought of, but I have found that it has been a lifesaver, especially if I'm doing a lot of walking. Now, I have plantar fasciitis. I know a lot of you might have other foot conditions. You can find ones that work for you, but these are gel heels that I got from Dr. Scholl's, and they fold up nice and small. They go together like this. Now these go everywhere with me because I have found that when I'm walking miles and miles visiting foreign countries, that my heels begin to kill me. And that's my sore spot. But Dr. Scholl's have various kinds of gel soles like these for your specific purpose. And I would highly suggest, if you're touring around, that you keep these with you. Now this is sunscreen in a stick. And I like the fact that it's in a stick because I can just wipe it over my face. Now we all know the obvious benefits of using sunscreen outside, but Apparently, and I did not know this till recently, you are exposed to more UVA and UVB ultraviolet light when you're on a plane. And I just recently had to have my face lasered. You're going to find out lots of things about me because I have really bad rosacea, and that's a way of treating rosacea. And after a laser treatment, your skin is more vulnerable to UVA and UVB light. But my doctor told me to get this, and now it's part of my pack. But everybody is exposed to UVA and UVB rays on the plane. So I would suggest picking this up for yourself. Now, I know I've shown this to you before, but I never go anywhere without this. And that's my magnified light up mirror, because hotel rooms are notorious for having bad lighting in the bathroom. And this, I can get 3 different kinds of lights by just tapping it, and I can increase or decrease the light, and you can recharge it. And I just never go anywhere without this, so I can put my makeup on in decent light. Now, this is a little fun one. This is my fold-up brush that I actually take out every day with me. And the reason I like it is it actually does a good job with your hair. It also has a little mirror, so if I have to put on lipstick or something, I can see what I'm doing, and it folds like this. Now, this is a little cheapy item. It's not a big deal, but it does make it more pleasant when you're out and about. Now, I'm somewhere in the middle of my list of items that I like to take with me, but if you have some favorite items that you like to take with you, please drop them in the comment section down below. Also, if you have any questions for me, drop them in the comment section down below. I love hearing from all of you. And if you found any value in this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below, because that really helps this channel out a lot. Now let's talk about glasses and sunglasses in general. Now, I lose my glasses on a regular basis. And I mean, I lose literally like a pair or 2 on any given vacation. So first of all, I have these, which I love, these little tubular ones. And I always take 2 of these. If I'm not taking these, which take up even less room, which fold open like this and have a telescoping arm like this. They're not the most fashionable ones, but they get the job done. But that leaves this final case. And you might be wondering what's in that case. Well, I've also lost my sunglasses. And these are little foldable sunglasses. I put them on, there. And they're not even horrible. And they keep the sun out of your eyes. And they fold up like the other little folding glasses into a little tiny case. I can bring my usual pair of sunglasses plus one of these, so that way when I'm crying that my good pair of Maui Jims or Ray-Bans have gone missing, at least I have something to put on my face. Still on the topic of toiletries, I have made some major changes. I am now totally going with these. Now, I have silicone bottles. I have definitely said buy silicone bottles, but I have found, especially when you're minimally packing, that these, and they come in different sizes, as you use them up, they become flatter. I can put them like this and they stand up. I don't have to worry about how much room I'm wasting in my bag because these are so thin. They're just ultra light. And the best part is you get a whole bunch of them and they're inexpensive and they take up no room in your toiletry bag. So this is now what I'm doing. This next topic is all thing hotel living. Now, this next one might seem really silly, but if you're moving from hotel room to hotel room, you'll understand why I like this. It's these flat pack valets. They come in 2 different sizes. Now I'm going to put this together as I talk to you about it. Now, why do I like this? Well, first of all, I make a list of all the items in my room because I always keep some Post-its around. And I put that running list into the bottom of the valet. And then I know what things I'm supposed to have that might be scattered around my room, like wires and charges and other incidentals that might be in the bathroom. They don't all necessarily go in here, but at least I know what I have to look for. And this helps also keep all my odds and sods together in one place. So I might throw my keys in here, a hotel card, items like that. And I always know where everything is. I tend to take the bigger size because my husband shares it with me and he puts his wallet in here. This is just something that I have found has been super handy and kept me super organized while I was in my hotel room, so that when I moved to my next hotel room, I knew that everything came along with me. Now, I've said this once, if I've said it 1,000 times, my little tiny sound machine is a lifesaver. And it's a lifesaver for so many reasons. But for me personally, my husband snores. It drives me nuts. I can't sleep. But if you're in a loud hotel, let me tell you, this will drown out the noise from the hallway. It's just an unbelievable lifesaver, and it's not expensive, and it's so tiny. I mean, look at how small it is in the palm of my hand. It takes up almost no real estate in my personal item bag. So this item does make it in there. So as my final item for my hotel survival, I take at least 2, if not 3, of these little portable hangers. And I never thought I would be that person. But I one time washed out my clothing in the hotel room and put it on a hanger, and the finish that was on the hanger came off on my clothing, and it ruined it. Not only that, it's kind of hard with underwear and socks to find a way to put them over a hanger to dry them overnight. With this, I have 2 clips here so I can dry a pair of socks, bras, underwear, it doesn't really matter. I have a way to hang it off of this, put like my socks on here and put my bra hanging off of that. I can put my clothing on here and dry it on here. And I don't have to worry about this ruining my clothing. And it packs up really small. Now, I will tell you that this does not go into my personal item bag. This goes into my luggage in any little place that I can get it. And if I can get 2 or 3 in there, that's great. They come, I think, in a pack of 6, but I have found them to be super helpful if I'm traveling for more than a week. Well, that was a lot of stuff that I showed you that I liked and I didn't like. And if you'd like to see how I put that into a personal item bag when I pack it out as a personal item bag, check out this video over here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.